Welcome to another edition of Bearcats All Access. I'm your host, Marshall Kramsky. The Cincinnati men's basketball team, they are winners of their last 3 games, hitting the right stride. It gets tougher, though. Next up, later today, the Bearcats take on Iowa State in Ames. Head coach Wes Miller joins the show to talk about what it's going to take to beat what he calls one of the best teams in the country in a very difficult road environment. Plus, Simas Lukosius, the man who hits the big shot when needed, joins the show to tell us how basketball is a part of his culture. All that and so much more coming up on Bearcats All Access right now.
Bearcats All Access, sponsored by All Good Home Improvements.
3 in a row. From the outside, people seem to say you looks like you're hitting your stride as a coach there every day. How do you feel about your team recently?
I think they've mentally reset. I think they've playing with joy again, not just playing in games, but practicing with joy, and then playing with confidence. And I think those things, when they're happening in congruence, are positive. But we got to continue to keep improving and continue to keep growing. And again, this team playing free and with confidence is really important to our overall success.
A couple weeks ago, you and I talked about not playing teams twice and how late you were in the season and how that hasn't happened yet. Last couple games, you had a chance to do that. You play BYU and Utah. You flip the result. You get wins. Being able to see a team a second time and completely change the outcome, what does that say about your staff and this team, you think?
I think it's a different dynamic. It's more the old school dynamic, right, where you play against somebody, you learn from your first game against them, and not just as a coaching staff, but players learn, and you're able to make adjustments. That's more rare now in today's college basketball, but I thought we did a nice job of that, playing BYU and Utah for a second time last week.
Your guards last few games have really, it seemed, stepped it up, especially in the box score. What have you seen out of both Jizzle James and Day Thomas in the last few games that you weren't seeing earlier in the year?
I think they're playing the way that they're capable of playing. Aggressively, confident, making plays for themselves, making plays for others. And I think in this league, in the Big 12, you have to have elite guard play to be competitive. Everybody has elite guard play, but even to be competitive, you have to have elite guard play. We've had confidence from day one this year that we have guys that are capable of doing that, and to see Jizzle and Day kind of finding their stride and starting to play like they're capable of playing, it doesn't just make our team better as a whole, it actually makes each individual on the team better because they feed off of that. And Day and Jizzle, like I said, they can create shots for themselves, but they also put other guys in position to be successful. So I think that is a key to our team offensively, is those guys playing at the level that they're playing at now. And I think there's even another gear for both of them.
Iowa State, 10 in the country. What is it that really stands out about them on film?
First off, defensively, they make it very difficult to kind of do anything. They really trap the ball on the baseline. So to run offense down in the sideline and baseline area can be very challenging. They switch some things out and make entries tough, so to run set plays can be very, very challenging. They come after the basketball very aggressively, so they rotate to the ball and get their hands on basketballs, and that's why they're one of the best turnover teams in America. And then, I think where they've continued to take a huge step is they've become such a more dynamic offensive team this year.
On paper, you guys are underdogs going into this game. Although you're on a 3-game win streak, do you use those storylines ever the guys are already motivated, but to give them a little bit of an extra shove going into the game?
Yeah, I think, we talked to the guys after the last game in the locker room that, what a unique opportunity that, nobody in the world will think you can win this game. You're going to go play against, I don't care what their ranking is this week. In every metric, they're a top 5 team in America. So you're going to go play against one of the 5 best teams in America and one of the best teams in this league, and nobody thinks you can win the game. And that's a great opportunity.
Baseball season is just around the corner, and the Cincinnati Bearcats are looking to build even more in year 2 under head coach Jordan Bischel. He tells us the team's secret.
keys to success. Sponsored by Columbia Hyundai and Genesis of Montgomery.
There's a new brand of baseball that started last year for the Cincinnati Bearcats when head coach Jordan Bischel came to the program. A great year one, they're hoping will build to an even better year two. Bischel, he brought his own phrase to this program. 10 games. Each letter means something else. Coach Bischel sat down to explain what does 10 games mean and how it's going to help this team in year two.
Most teams have the ability to play 500 baseball. 28 wins, 28 losses would be a 500 season. And to be truly great, you kind of got to win 10 games more than that. 10 doesn't sound like that many, but you got some ground to cover. It's really, really hard to get to 38 type wins. And so we put an analogy together that each of these letters stands an acronym for something that we really care about. And the T is being a good teammate. You pick each other up, or you push each other, you stand behind each other. The E is probably the one you hear us talk about the most, which is energy, enthusiasm, and excitement. We want to do things, not just play games, but do things on a daily basis with high intent, but high energy, enthusiasm, and excitement. The N, we talk about what do we do when nobody's looking. Our coaches get 20 hours a week with our guys. That leaves a heck of a lot of time that they can decide what they want to put into it, what kind of decisions they want to make, and those really influence how many ball games we're going to win. G is our grades. We've done really, really well in the classroom here. The A is our hitting approach. If you watch us play, you're going to see we're extremely disciplined at the plate. We make it hard on pitchers to record outs. That's a staple in our program. The M, we call our pitching philosophy, make it hard to score. We are going to attack the strike zone. We're going to make you collect a bunch of hits to beat us. The E, we call it elevate. What are these areas everybody talks about as important, but not a lot of guys execute? That's your nutrition, your strength and conditioning, your sleep patterns. S is our short game. And if you watch us play again, you're going to see us run the bases aggressively. You're going to see us put pressure on in the bunt game. We want to create a little bit of chaos for the defense there. And the idea is we can just stay locked in on those 8 things over and over and really be good in those 8 areas. Somewhere along the line, we're going to pick up an extra win here and there, and it's going to give us a shot at 38 instead of 28. If we get there in this league, you're talking about playing at home in June, which is pretty exciting.
The University of Cincinnati Student Athlete Support Services team continues to up their game. 59 student athletes in the fall semester had a 4.0 GPA, bringing up the total department's GPA to 3.48. We hear about what it takes to create the ultimate student athlete.
For me, to have 59 student athletes have a 4.0 for the fall semester means that we have a lot of dedicated young people that are, excelling on and off the field of play and really getting after their academic pursuits and doing things the right way, working with our group in SAS and making sure that they are setting themselves up to be extremely successful for the rest of their life. You think about a student athlete like Jillian Hayes, who's been here for 5 years, been here for the 5 years that I've been here, and you think about all that she's accomplished on the court as a leader within our department, and then to still make sure that she's actively getting after her academic life as well, and getting a 4.0 is incredible.
Having a 4.0 being a top cat means to me just a lot of hard work and being locked in on both my sport and school. SAS has helped me immensely by just picking my classes and making sure I'm on the right path to be able to achieve all that I want to achieve. I feel like UC gives us a lot of tools to help us, whether it's helping us build our resume or having career fairs. So I just think they set us up the best way possible so that we can succeed when we're done with our sport.
Anytime you have a team award, it takes more than just the guys. It takes a group of people, an army of people in the building here to help. And so, I credit Joe Lucky and Mac Bozel, our academic advisor.
SAS people, Miss Carey, she did an amazing job. I mean, she helped me throughout the way, coming into transferring to UC and just having me finish out with my undergrad and my MBA. So it's just what they do on a daily basis is amazing. Juliet's another student athlete that we love to highlight because has done so many things early in her career on the track and has accomplished so much.
and spend so much time being world class on the track, it's amazing that that student athlete also takes the time to be world class within the classroom.
To be a student athlete requires a special person.
To get a 3.77 GPA during the fall semester is really incredible, and it speaks to the culture that Coach Martin has created within our men's golf program.
We've built a great culture here. We've got great young men. Certainly really happy for their success.
When the Bearcats need a big shot, the team looks to Simas Lukosius. Lukosius, basketball is in his culture. We sit down with Simas coming up.
Bearcats All Access. Sponsored by All Good Home Improvements.
Simas, you've lived all over the world and then the Midwest. How does Cincinnati compare to what life was like for you growing up?
It's different for sure, but I would say America in general is different for me and a new experience, and I like it. I love it here, and I'm very grateful for the opportunity to be here. And yeah, it's been kind of because I've lived so many places, it's not been that hard to adjust, so I'm thankful for that as well.
You say you lived in so many places. Where exactly have you lived on your journey to Cincinnati?
So a lot of those are crossed off like before I turned 9. I think I lived in Lithuania, Kuwait, Russia, and Lebanon. That was when I was a little kid. And then after that, I've lived in Germany and America.
What was life like? Because to you it's casual, but to so many Bearcat fans, they've never been to that part of the world. What was life like growing up in Lithuania and Germany?
Like I said, every place is different. Every place has its own culture. And in Lithuania, everything is so basketball obsessed. Like I would say, I didn't have a single person that I knew growing up through my childhood I'd never tried to play basketball, at least. Like either it was teammates or classmates that went to play basketball and didn't like it that much, but still end up playing, outside or whenever we go out somewhere, it's a very basketball-focused country. I would say that's a big difference.
What's basketball culture like in Lithuania? You said they were basketball obsessed.
Basketball culture is crazy because it's a part of our country. Like it's a part of, it was a part of the fight for our freedom, and everybody, it's a part of our hearts. And I would say the culture is whatever you want. Like there's indoor pickup games, there's wherever you go, outdoor courts, and they're going to be full, and there's going to be people watching, there's going to be people playing, and there's going to be random 60-year-old men that you've never seen before that can kick your butt, and it's crazy. But yeah, I love it.
When you say it was a part of a fight for your freedom, what do you mean?
When we were free from the Soviet Union in 1990, it was a big part of just Šarūnas Marčiulionis going to the NBA and being able to kind of disconnect from the Soviet Union, and just a lot of it was basketball focused because the Soviet Union 1988 Olympic champions, 5 of those players were Lithuanian, and that was kind of a big part of our pride, and knowing that maybe they know that you're Lithuanian, and everybody sees that, and it was a big part for us.
What would it mean to you for this team to find their way into the tournament this year?
It would mean a lot, not only because I'm a senior and I've never been, just for myself to reach that point, but also I think just the story of our team, how we had a lot of expectations coming into the season. We started off really well and then hit a crazy slump, and some people maybe even lost hope, and for us to turn it around I think it would be a really special story and one that I would cherish for my whole life.
Cincinnati Bearcat running backs Corey Kiner and Evan Pryor were as dynamic of a 1-2 punch as anyone saw in the Big 12 last season. Corey Kiner, he's no longer a Bearcat, moving on, declaring for the NFL draft, while Evan Pryor, he's ready to come back. Last season, he had 4 touchdowns of 55 yards or more. We got him to stop, though, from running to sit down with Dan Horde and the Let's Rain podcast.
Hi again, everybody, and welcome to the Let's Rain podcast, in-depth conversations with UC athletes, coaches, and administrators. I'm Dan Horde. We're joined on this episode by one of the most electrifying players in college football, UC running back Evan Pryor. It certainly looked like you were as fast as ever last year. 4 touchdowns of 55 or more yards, including an 80-yarder on a short pass. Are you as fast or even faster than ever?
I think I'm faster. You know, I was talking about this actually with my dad a few days ago. Just everything I do now, I'm so much more deliberate in the things that I do, training, recovery, eating, whatever it is, because I know what the result can be and what I can do for this team. So, you know, I'm focused. I'm more locked in than ever right now.
As I drove into campus today, I could look up and see that spectacular indoor practice facility that is rapidly taking shape. It is scheduled to open, I believe, in late May. Mm-hmm. So you're going to experience this during the course of your Bearcat career. What impact do you think that's going to have on UC football?
I think it'll have a huge impact. You know, I think having your own facility, especially like what we're getting built, is just a huge plus. You know, being able to do whatever you need to do to become successful, whether that's training indoors, snow blizzard outside, staying around the building a little longer, getting your body right, eating, you know, just having our own little area, you know, to be ourselves. It'll go huge. It'll be a big factor in why we get guys here and why guys stay here, I believe.
You're from the Charlotte area. What was the Nippert Stadium experience like for you?
It was good. You know, I like the home feel of it. It's in the middle of campus. All the students are always there, and it's just a good feel. It gets loud. I didn't know it got that loud in there. So it's great, though. I love playing in that stadium.
Last year at Cincinnati, you wore the number 6. Anything to the number 6, and is that something that's likely to change?
No, I'm gonna stay in number 6 next year. I just always wore number 3. My whole career I wore 3, but I haven't been able to wear it in college. So, but with me doing what I did last year in 6, and plus my mom would be mad at me if I changed. She's bought like 2 or 3 jerseys, so she'd be mad if I change my number. But,
rightfully so. Those things are expensive.
Yeah, they are.
Stay with number 6.
Yes, sir. Yeah.
You achieved academic honors in your first year at UC, on the dean's list a couple of times.
Sure.
Do you work hard at it, or does it come naturally?
You know, I work hard at school for sure. That's something I have to really apply myself to. Nothing like a playbook, you know, where I can kind of have a better sense of what's going on. So I've been really just locking in, being better at school. That's something I wanted to do better at coming over here last year, being more focused and trying to hone in on things that I do well off of the field. You know, something that I'll be interested in doing later in life when I hang the cleats up.
Was that emphasized by your folks growing up?
Of course, yeah. My mom graduated from Clark Atlanta University, so she's always been on the school side of, you know, do your work, you know, because at any point it can be over with, you know. You never know what can happen on the field, so try and set yourself up for success regardless.
What are some of your goals for the upcoming year?
Some of my goals, I believe I could be a 1,200-yard plus guy, all purpose, you know, whether that's however many in the air and rushing. You know, I feel like I do both of those at a very high level. So that's a goal of mine, you know, at least 10 touchdowns I feel like I can do, split between the air and the ground. So I got some pretty big goals, you know, coming up this year, and hopefully I can achieve them all.
Anything that you like about living and going to school in Cincinnati so far?
Yeah, the fits I get to put on. It's cold, so I'm a real sweatshirt, sweatpants, throw some Jordans on kind of guy. So I like how I get to dress here.
And a foot of snow out the window right now doesn't bother you all that much?
Nah, the car will be fine, so I'm good. I can drive.
Well, as I said at the beginning, I think it's fair to call you one of the most electrifying players in college football. It was a treat to watch your first year. Can't wait for the upcoming season. Thanks for sticking around, and we appreciate your time.
Yes, you, Dan. Thank you.
It's a new era of Cincinnati volleyball. Head coach Daniela Tomic comes on mic'd up on Bearcats All Access. What does it sound like when a new head coach comes into a program? Daniela Tomic has 2 decades of volleyball coaching experience with both Bowling Green and FIU. Coach Tomic was mic'd up in one of her first workouts with the Bearcats.
Good morning. We do a lot of high fives. Good morning.
Bearcats on 3, 1, 2, 3, Bearcats.
Good communication. Get it. I'm mic'd up. I'm mic'd up. Okay, here we go. Whatever it takes. You can hit anywhere in the world, but hitting in the net. Kelly, can we have some music going on? Yeah, let's get some music going on. Let's get some jam. Communicate. Love the effort, love the effort, love the effort, love the effort, love the effort. It's still going on, it's still going on, it's going on, it's going on, it's going on. Hey, let's count, let's see how many balls we have. Let's count, so we have a count. 86 and 50. 130. Yeah, some smart one. Gia, did you see that set? That's pretty sweet. After that one that we all kind of, it was like, effort is non-negotiable. In every game, whatever we do, the ball doesn't go on the floor without us going after it. That's the mentality we're gonna have. Relentless. We won't get every ball, but we're gonna go after every ball. That's what I'm talking about. That's the standard here. Go for it. Lower elbow, lower elbow. Yeah, it's weird. It should feel weird. Good, 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 good. Now everything goes. Everything goes. You can hit it. Time. There's no perfection, okay? Volleyball, we're not gonna ever have a perfect point. How can we make it the best that we can? We're gonna strive is to be consistently good and occasionally great. So there will be some highlights, but we're not gonna go after, if I have a highlight point, it's good. No, let's be consistently good. Some of those highlights are gonna happen naturally, okay? We're very hard on ourselves. And we're gonna remember every mess up, every mistake, and we forget actually how many good things we do. So let's focus more on things that we're doing well. Keep doing those things more and more.
Together at 3, 1, 2, 3.
Together, love it.
That's all the time we have this week on Bearcats All Access. I'm your host, Marshall Kramsky. Cincinnati tips off against Iowa State in Ames, number 10 in the country, in just a little bit. Make sure to tune in every week for Bearcats All Access, 11:30 a.m. on Saturdays, right here on WCPO 9.